Hey guys, Gathering Magic back again, and it's Saturday, so you know what that means? Wait a minute, don't I usually do this on Sunday? Oh yeah, well I've got a busy day tomorrow, so I decided, you know what, I need to do this a day early, because I'm not sure if I'll get it done tomorrow, and last time we did the card market watch 2 weeks ago, I got the first part done, and then we lost power. So I want to make sure I get this done today. Weather is nice here in Michigan, so there should be no problems. Once again, today is April 12th, 2025. This is episode number 33 of the Splinterlands Card Market Watch. So, some exciting things to go over. As you guys know, Conclave Arcana is on the horizon. A lot of details about the set have been released. Tokens are looking well, so let's get started. So, starting off with SPS, I checked just shortly ago, and this is the first time in a long time that we have hit 1 cent. So never thought I would be happy with a token hitting 1 cent, but here we are. So we are at 0.0105 for SPS. As you can see, that's up big for where we were at the end of March when we were at 0.0067. Vouchers have come down a little bit from just over 2 cents to 1.8 cents a piece. DEC is looking very strong, getting very close to peg. We are now at 93.1 cents per thousand DEC. So token prices are looking very, very strong. Vouchers. So the new voucher card, Keelan Gaines, is selling very well. So you can see we are just over 14.1 million vouchers. In the last 13 days, we've only gone up 177,000 vouchers, which is about 13,000 a day. You guys know we print 40,000, so Keelan Gaines continues to be a sought-after card. SPS burning, so I'm really, really looking forward to 2 weeks from now, seeing how this changes. Currently, over the last 13 days, we've burned 475,000 SPS, just over 36,000 a day. You can see the total supply here. So with we're getting so close to the flywheel, I'm really, like I said, really excited to see what this number is 2 weeks from now. Okay, moving on to packs. So what have older pack prices done over the last 2 weeks? Alpha has come up a little bit. As you can see, we were flat right at $54.80. Currently, the cheapest pack in the market is $60. None were open though in the last couple weeks. Beta still above 13 at 1360. Untamed holding strong at 7.5, so it's currently at $7.59. Dice flatline $8.20. No one's interested in dice. Orb sitting at $7.80. 102 packs were either opened or taken off the marketplace. So the current amount is just under 6,700. Chaos Legion. So the big news with Chaos Legion 2 weeks ago, we had that huge spike in price up to 65 cents was your cheapest pack that you could find. Prices have settled down a little bit, but we're still holding over 50 cents a pack for Chaos Legion. We are under 1.8 million packs remaining. But you can see we really slowed down. Over the last month, we were opening 39,000, 37,000 packs. Last 13 days, we've only opened a little over 11,000, so not quite 1,000 a day. So Chaos Legion has cooled off a little bit. I think it's because there's just so much on the horizon. Survival mode continues to be very strong, but with Conclave Arcana, I think people are really setting their funds up for that. Rift Watchers, $1.88, holding very strong. 336 pack were either opened or taken off the market. Reminder that there are some Rift Watcher packs in jackpot prizes, although I have not seen anyone open one yet. Rebellion continues to tick higher and higher. Look where we were 2-3 months ago. 369, 379, 415, 455, currently at 469. I think I've seen it as high as 490-ish, so like 495, somewhere in there. So Rebellion continues to tick higher and higher. Amount circulating, so like I said a couple weeks ago, the way I calculate it looks like it's a little bit different than they do on Splinter cards. I see that there's only about 44,000 left circulating. Either way, however you calculate it, about 1,300 packs were open over the last 13 days. So, 100 packs a day have been open on Rebellion. Okay, moving on to sets. So for Alpha, of course, in part 2, we'll do a deep dive into the cards. This is just going to be looking at overall prices. So the low end of Alpha Commons have come down. 2 weeks ago it was 46 cents. Now we're looking at 27 cents as the cheapest common. Cheapest alpha rare is 98 cents. Epics range from 293 up to 1188. Alpha legendaries $30 to 250. The gold foils 1361 is your cheapest up to 475. Rares 35 up to 5,000 for a gold foil rare. Gold foil epics 275 to 1300. And gold foil legendaries, I think this is the most legendaries I've seen listed for alpha, as I believe there are 5 gold foil legendaries up for sale. The promo cards, so your common promo is $14.25, your rare is $10, your epic promo is $39, and then your legendary is $777. Your gold foil, the only ones available are the rare for $89 and the gold foil epic for $375. Okay, moving on to beta. As you guys can see, really no movement in the regular foil cards. The gold foils continue to be about the same range as well, so not a whole lot of movement in beta. Your commons start at 5 cents, your rares 26 cents, your epics 76, and your legendaries just over 5 at 5.10. Your gold foil commons are starting at $2.09, rares just under $10 at $9.75. Gold foil epics at 38, and then gold foil legendaries start at 400. Okay, for the promo cards, so your common promo is 59 cents. So the summoner has come down a little bit. So if you're looking to pick one up, this is the cheapest it's been, as you can see, in quite a while. You know, going back over the last couple months, it's ranged 65 cents to $1.16. So if you are interested in that common dragon summoner, cheapest price I've seen in quite a while. So just a heads up. Your gold or your rare promo card is sitting at 42 cents still. The epic is $1.99. The red dragon, and this is for a single BCX, or is now called CC for combined cards, $34.60. So that is just for a single copy. Prince Julian and Archmage Arius are basically the same price as they've been over the last month, just under $1,500 a piece. The gold foil common promo is $15 for the summoner, $21 for the rare, $300 for the epic, and then $1,500 for a gold foil red dragon. Okay, moving on to Untamed. So another set where there's really not a whole lot of movement, so we're probably just going to look at the legendary cards. You can see the prices here are basically where they were 2 weeks ago for the regular foils and for the commons. So the key cards is what everyone's interested in. So Kitty came down from $66 to $55. Llama came down from 34 to just under 30 at $29.60. Jotun stayed the same at just under $45. Kron, he seems to bounce all over the place, as you guys can see. He's been as cheap as $6, $7.50 up to 37, down to 16. Now he's down just under 13. Who knows where he'll land next? The gold foil versions, I can tell right away that that gold foil Jotun is not $9.12. So let me look real quick and see if there is a gold foil Jotun on the marketplace. Because if there's one for $9.12, I think I'm going to buy that. $912. Okay. So $912. There we go. Okay, gold foil Kitty is $1,350. Gold foil Llama $1,000. Gold foil Jotun $912, not $9.12, and gold foil Kron at $250. Okay, promo cards. Halfling Alchemist is down to $1.20. Chain Golem at $14.94, and the Mighty Dricken is still as it was 2 weeks ago, $1,111. Gold foils are the same as 2 weeks ago, $125 for the Gold Alchemist, and $195 for the Chain Golem. Okay, moving on to dice. So the two things I always look for at when I go over dice are the rare prices, because those are the summoners, and then of course the legendary cards. So the commons and rares, you can see not a whole lot of movement. You know, the rares came down slightly, 21 cents for the lowest summoner. 426 though is for Mylor. So there are, I believe there was 3 max copies, 3 level 6s, and then just 2 individual copies, and they were both around 426. Your epics, 44 cents to 475, and your legendaries, 343 to 2270. Your gold foil commons start at 74 cents up to 275. The gold rares, which are your summoners, are $4 to 16.25, and there are a couple of those gold summoners I think are very underpriced, and we will go over that in part 2. Gold foil epics, $23 to 47, and then finally your gold foil legendaries, $100 up to $7,500. Okay, moving on to orb, another small set. You can see the base prices here for the regular foil compared to 2 weeks ago. Not a whole lot of change. You know, your commons start at 6 cents. Your rares start at 29. The epics came up a little bit from 250 up to 273. And then your legendaries went from 795 to 994. The gold foils, 233 to 15 for the commons. 1252 to 19 for the rares. There's only 2 epics in the set. The only one listed in gold foil, once again, is the Wizard. He is down to $69. And then your gold foil legendaries, you have the Warlord, which is the cheapest I've seen. Still pricey at $400, but down big time from 2 weeks ago when it was $13.50. Your gold foil Lord of Fire is still sitting at $500, and the gold foil Corrupted Pegasus is under $1,000. So as you can see, the prices here over the last couple months, it is now currently at $800. All right, Chaos Legion. So Chaos Legion prices came down slightly for the legendary cards. You know, the commons through epics really don't change too much week from week. Legendary prices for the low-end legendaries for a while were under 50 cents, then they spiked to 60. Now it's down to 52 cents. The high-end legendary card is $4.70 for the base set. Your gold foil commons, 20 cents, so they did come down. We had that huge spike 2 weeks ago where everything kind of doubled or tripled from where they have been. Now they're starting to settle back down to the range that we have seen them in for many months. Still a little bit above, you know, the 14, 15 cent range. They're starting at 20 cents up to 93. Your gold foil rares pretty much back in line where they have been, 72 cents to 261. The gold foil epics right in that $4 to $6 range once again. Your gold foil legendary cards had that spike where the floor was over 30 bucks. Now it's down to 22.80. So the gold foils still slightly above where they were, but yeah, they've come down from where they were 2 weeks ago after that big spike. Okay, the soulbound cards, what have they done over the last 2 weeks? As you can see, for the normal foil, not a whole lot of price movement, except for there's one legendary card that is in demand, and it's up to $24.95 per BCX. We'll get over that card in part 2. As you can see here for the gold foil commons, the floor is up to $1.65 is the cheapest gold foil common soulbound card. Gold foil rares, $6.80 to $39.50. The epics, $19.99 to $69.14. And check this out, the gold foil legendaries, $109.95 is the floor, up to $1,500. Someone is asking for one of the legendary cards. Okay, the promo cards. So the bear is sitting at 7 cents, down from 9. Bruise is down to 8 cents from 13 2 weeks ago. Oh Sure came down from 7.19 to 5.79. Dr. Blight went from 15.24 down to $13.88. Zerial continues to drift lower from 11.94 down to 11.38. Waka, so this I think is the cheapest I've seen Waka. So if you're interested in a max summoner, pretty rare, it's sitting at $106. So still expensive, but way lower than it has been, as you can see over the last couple months. You know, it's been trending down and down. Will it go under 100 if it doesn't sell? We'll see in a couple weeks. And then Lux Vega regular foil is sitting at $277. The gold foils, so as you can see, a lot of them trended lower, with the exception of the gold foil Zerial. So the bear came down from $4.50 to $3. Bruise came from $2.10 down to $1.63. Oh Sure from about $47 down to $36.50. Dr. Blight came down from $140 down to $90. Gold foil Zerial, the regular foil is not in demand, but the gold went from 74 to 145. Gold foil Waka came down from 5 grand to 3,800, and gold foil Lux came down from 5,000 to 4,900. Okay, next is Rift Watchers. So as you can see here, the base cards are pretty much the same as where they have been. The one card I always look at is Inevitable. That card was $22 2 weeks ago. Now it is currently $25.25. The gold foils, there's a really whole lot of difference. Yeah, the low end common was 63 cents 2 weeks ago. Now it's down to 28 cents. The rares, 84 cents to 6.95. Gold foil epics, $6.37 to 16.50. And then the legendary, the floor seems to be, right around that $25 to $30 range, up to 145. All right, Rebellion. So we're up to the newest set. So Rebellion Commons still holding above 5 cents, so 5 to 34 cents. The Summoners have come down a little bit. I think they're in that 28 to 34 cent range. Rares, 11 cents to $1.84. Epics, 60 cents to $2.35. And then Legendaries, just over $3 to $65 for Tofu. And then the gold foils, you're looking at 66 cents to $9.49 for a common. $1.43 to $23.44 for the rare, $9.24 to $49 for the epic, and your legendaries are going to run $38 up to $450 for tofu. And then quickly looking at the soulbound cards. So now with DEC getting closer to peg, some of the soulbound cards have ticked up a little bit. The commons that had been selling 8-9 cents are now 10 to 13. Your rares are 34 cents to 47. The epics $1.98 to $2.35, and then legendaries $10 to $12. Your gold foil commons $2.20 to $5. The rares $10.50 to $16.75. Epics $45.99 to $58. And the gold foil legendary Galactus that was for sale over the last month is no longer listed on the marketplace. Okay, let's go over some of the key cards from Rebellion. So here are some of the legendary cards. So you can see, for the most part, most of them drifted lower from where they were 2 weeks ago. Kai is now $5.47. Kane is $14.74. Rage came down from $44.55 down to $24. Darg is just under $20 at $19.80. Venka is still holding 30 at $30.19. Lorcus is sitting at $32.20. Cryptic, $29.35. Tofu up to $65. EMP at $19.79. Nidhogger at $18.76. And finally, Riskeldrath at $14.34. The gold foils, as you can see, most of the gold foils drifted lower as well, with a couple of exceptions. Gold foil Kai is $78.40. Akane $120. Rage $195. Darg $189. Venka $238. Lorcus $194.50. Cryptic $174. Tofu $450. EMP at $129. Nidhogger at $159, and Riskeldrath at $250. I think the reason this is higher is this is the only copy on the marketplace. Okay, so let's wrap up part 1 by looking at all the different promo cards. So Grimbarden Smith came down from 2 weeks ago, where it was at $6.50. He's down still above 4 at $4.15. The gold foil is at $38.60. Mantaroth saw a nice increase 2 weeks ago, $33.50. He's up to $42.25. Gold foil still at $200. The Enforcer down to 74 cents. The gold foil at $7.03. Baron Fiat came down from $6 to $4.49, but the gold foil went up to $59.54. Mana Warden came down, broke 20 cents a couple weeks ago at 23, back down to 17, but the gold foil is still holding strong at $3.50. Sanctus at $2.99, and the gold foil at $33.97. Eleanor sitting at $57.99, and the gold foil at $500. Night Stalker came up, as you can see, big time. was in the $2 range. Now it's up to $3.79 with the gold foil at $19.10. Dahlia sitting at $52 and the gold foil at $358. Rune Anarchist, $5.45. And I'll tell you right now, there are three copies for sale of Gold Foil Anarchist at $25. This card has been super rare. There's very rarely this card on the marketplace. As you can see, a couple weeks there's none, $65 or more. Not financial advice, but these three cards should be gone by the time this video goes live, I would think. That is just way too cheap for that card, as rare as it is. Rick Launeman, $75, gold foil not available. Mary Put Mossmender, $2.12, gold foil at $17.99. Neff Kit, just under $38 at $37.97 with the gold foil at $4.08. Ulfga, still as 2 weeks ago, $19.33, gold foil at $1.67. Warborn Shaman had another, was one of the cards along with the Night Stalker that saw a big price bump from $250 up to $464 per combined cards. I keep wanting to say BCX. The gold foil is at $18. Fizbo, $36.26, $300 for the gold foil. There is a Heloise the Hollow up for sale again for $2,000, no gold foil. And then finally, Keelan Games is $1.86, and the gold foil is at $14. So there you have it, guys. There is part one of the Market Watch for April 12th, 2025. Shortly, I am going to take a little bit of a break and then record part two. We'll do a deep dive into the card market, so stay tuned for that. Hope you guys are doing well. Excited for Conclave Arcana. The pre-sale will be coming out in 10 days. So hope you guys are ready. Hope you're excited. I am. Until next time, stay the course, keep on forge and have fun, and I'll see you with part two. Take care.